Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently looking to invade India here a little bit, and Germany has hit very, very low amounts of manpower. We're hoping... Is this Far Eastern Republic new? I don't recall seeing that previously. They're part of the North American Association. I haven't really looked at what the North American Association has done up here. Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's not really particularly relevant to us. We are short on steel right now. Okay. Because the US can't actually deliver all of the steel that we are demanding. There we go. That should do the trick. Cool. We're a little bit short on fuel as well, but we're currently working on constructing this naval base here, which is honestly probably not going to actually help us. Probably not. We're also working on making land forts. We should probably prioritize those higher, actually, because I don't expect these naval bases to actually help us. What we really need to do is try to hold out in these locations. Did this one only get one? Hang on. Land forts. What do we got here? Okay, we've already got one built in this location. Cool. And realistically, we could also create fallback land forts over here and just try to fortify this entire area. Of course, those would be low priority at this moment. They're not the ones that we want to create right now. So we'd bring those back. And we would deposit this, like, here, since that's already in progress, right? So it would be something kind of like that in terms of its priority-ish. I feel like this one should be a higher priority. Okay. Something kind of like that would be the idea. Cool. It keeps saying that we can... Oh, a preferred tactic. We can set a preferred tactic. Right. So what tactic do we want here? We want defensive tactics, probably. We could go for, like, an elastic defense as his preferred tactic. I don't know. Something along the lines of that would be probably okay. Now, we're going to want anti-air over here as well. We don't control the state enough, apparently, to build it. So that's fine. That's completely fine. Now, the Germans are going to be bringing a lot of troops over. They don't have that many here yet. But they're going to be arriving, and they're going to be attacking in a lot of locations. So the question is... That's experience, right? Okay, that's fighting strength due to manpower. That's a problem. Is manpower our overall fighting strength issue? It is. Okay. We can't actually train these, can we? These Marines? They should be canceled anyway. We don't want necessarily more Marines right now. That'll give us a bunch of manpower that we technically aren't supposed to have. But, I mean, it'll help. Okay. Now, the question is, when will the Germans arrive in force? And the answer is, that kind of depends. We don't really have any intel on where their units are. We know that they have quite a lot up over on this front. But we're not looking to push further than this. We're looking to just get our entrenchment bonuses up. That's what we're looking to do right now. We tried to take very defensible positions here. With the river, I believe the river goes all the way through here. Yeah. So we're behind the major river here. Over here, we're in the mountains. And then behind a major river on all of these fronts. So we're just trying to dig in here. Now, another thing that we could think about doing is stopping some ship production. That was something I was thinking about doing for manpower purposes, but I don't think it's actually that relevant right now. We would be able to not trade a bunch of things here. I wish there was a way to keep the land fort level equal across a front. I mean, we could then move, like, this guy up like this, right? That's a possibility. And then have this come up until that gets finished. And then just manually do it this way. That is something that we can do. We actually progress this quite quickly. Okay, we can see Germans are piling in from the north up here. We just need a little bit more time to dig in. I want to check in on our supplies here. Okay, we are currently on maximum motorization. Gotcha. This supply hub is kind of awkwardly located. And we're going to have to work on supply hubs, for sure. But right now, I think it's far more important that we get these land forts built. So I think that this should get moved down to be here. And it should be kind of like this. Cool. So this land fort finishes, we'll move it down to be here. I want at least a level 1 fort in all of these locations. That would be the ideal. We could also use more supplies over here for sure. I wish these Indonesian troops weren't here. They're kind of useless and dragging down our supplies, I think. I also wouldn't mind building a supply hub here and here. Or maybe like here? There is one here. I don't know. Supply hubs would be a little bit awkward out here. And there goes all of our manpower, by the way. I wonder if... Well, it shouldn't have gone into here. Did it go into ships? It did. It went into a carrier hull. Honestly, we have quite a lot of carriers at this point. Let's take a look at what we have. Well, we're still waiting on this to get reinforced. Okay. This carrier is repairing. It must have been dispatched, but isn't there yet, I think. I think that's what's happening. So we can definitely see the Germans are piling in here. We knew that this would happen. The question is... Oh, we can move this guy down. The question is, have we had enough time to dig in? I'm not sure. We can move this guy down as well now. We are building those land forts fairly quickly, but we have a long ways to go on them. Our entrenchment is pretty much maxed, so that's good. I want at least a level 1 land fort in each of these locations. Okay, so this one finishes. We can drop it down like this. Cool. So they're attacking us here. We are winning that. Look at our fighting strength here, though. Yikes. Can we set where our manpower goes primarily? We're already setting it to be high priority reinforcements. Okay. We need manpower over here. That's very clear. So, we're going to cancel production on our infantry line and our armored line. And we're going to allow that manpower to flow over here now. Okay. And look at it just plummet. Yep, there it goes. Cool. So hopefully once that manpower arrives over here, we should start to see these units' fighting strengths come up. That's the hope. How are we doing on our constructions? Okay. We're still building level 9s, so that's okay. Building these land forts should allow us to dig in fairly well. The question is just how many troops are the Germans going to throw at us? Well, here's the thing. The more they throw at us, the fewer they have to do things like this attack over here. And to hold off, well, they've actually taken over Greece at this point, but to hold off attacks that the British have been doing repeatedly over here. Are they still doing that? I actually haven't noticed them do that in a while. They're at 0 manpower, so I think that's unlikely. But the US is definitely attacking them over here. What is Germany at for manpower? They're very close to being out. So if they commit a lot to attacking our dug-in positions, our dug-in defensible positions, that'll be complicated for them. We'll see how much they want to commit to that. If they want to commit too much, we will fall back again. But we can take these positions again, like we have previously, once these troops leave. They've been doing that repeatedly, so this seems okay. Yeah, we don't have enough manpower or equipment to fulfill our garrisons. We could ask Indonesia if they would want to give us some, but they don't. Because they don't have... We don't really need more foreign manpower. We absolutely do need more foreign manpower. They think that we don't. Okay. Sure. All we're trying to do right now is hold this position. Okay, so we can move this guy down to here. We want to be building evenly across this front. So attacks like this is very good for us. They are exhausting their forces without us really taking much damage. We want that. 59 to 70k. It is almost to the month tick. So they are going... Hang on. Their supplies here are actually quite bad. Looking at this. Supply status of 17% on this guy. Supply status up here is 31. Supply status over here, 47. Down on this side is much better, but they do have to cross the river. And they're not really trying very hard. They're just launching some little probing attacks here and there. Now, they definitely have the numbers on us. We certainly do not want to attack from this position. But if we can defend and exhaust their numbers and supplies here, this is actually very valuable. Yeah. They're putting quite a lot of resources down this way without really utilizing them very much. And we have a very defensible position here. Okay, we need to drop this guy down. There we go. And our position is getting more and more defensible all the time. What just happened here? I'm not sure. No enemy cipher is being decrypted. That's something that we could definitely do. Click on map to add country as decryption target. We want to add Germany. Okay. 110 days. Sounds good. Yeah, we don't want to do India, just Germany. Okay. So they're going to be a little bit hard-pressed to attack us here. We're in a very defensible position. We're dug in, and we're getting more dug in all the time. Cool. This one is finished up. So that's another land fort done, this time up over here. Beautiful. They're launching a few probing attacks here and there. All we're doing is holding our position. We're just trying to bleed their manpower reserves. That is what we're doing right now. They did get a manpower bump, but only up to 100k here. That's not too bad. Do we know... Hang on. I want to see... They're very low on supplies. Or at least some of these supplies. Sure. Of course, we don't have exact intel figures. We're not surprised with how long they've been at war and how much attrition they've been taking. Like, not these guys. These guys here, Germany specifically, we're not surprised by that because they've been just drifting down in manpower for like 20 years and fighting constantly. They might be producing enough to get to their front lines, but not really enough to make a stockpile. That's fine. That's not really anything too major to think about right now. If their troops are undersupplied, that will serve us well in our offensive here. But currently, we can't assume that they are. Just because they don't have a stockpile doesn't mean that they're not producing enough for their troops. Okay, this one finished up. We need to drop it down, but realistically, that's not the most important thing right now. So we have a level 2 land fort at this point, basically across this entire front, with the exception of here. And we're in very defensible terrain. We can see that their attacks are not going well for the time being. We will continue to construct. And do we want to still keep these even across this front? I think the answer is yes. I think we want to keep doing that. We're well dug in at this moment. And I'm not seeing any major supply issues here either. There's some minor supply... Actually, there's some minor supply issues up over this way. We could think about building a supply hub up here. Those take a long time to build. But we could think about doing that. That would slow down our construction unless we... Well, it would still slow down our construction, but we could put it in our secondary slot here. Realistically, we're not seeing any major problems with, like, really needing to put together our land forts here. I think having this be slightly slower is reasonable. Getting a supply hub up here will be a big deal. We could also think about building a naval base down here, though. I think that's a better option than the supply hub. Simply a level 1 naval base here, and we'll bring that up. I'll just bring it to the top. That'll be much less tedious. There we go. So we'll bring that up. That will be done much faster, like 25% of the time. It'll allow some supply flow up here, but more importantly, it'll create a hub right here. Not necessarily as good of a hub, but it'll create a hub. Cool. Oh, we're still throwing military factories at our carrier naval bombers. Right. That's fine. That's fine. So there's a lot of German troops down here, right? That's definitely a thing. Manpower-wise, their manpower hasn't dropped all that much this month. That is a bit of a concern. So, we'll get this level 1 naval base here, which should, in theory, improve our supplies up over this way. We can see that we do have a supply issue specifically here. Our supplies are fine everywhere else for the moment. It's our manpower that's the major concern there. We do need to drop this down to here and continue work on our naval base over this way. Now, they have a lot of infantry here. I'm not seeing a single tank. They may have tanks in their infantry division, to be clear. We're not seeing a single tank division. Like, that's not a thing that we're seeing right now. So that's definitely interesting. Their attacks are very minor and very easily fended off right now. Okay, so they ended up getting 174k as their top end manpower. Cool. This is a more substantial attack, but we still win it very easily. Cool. So we're definitely dug in much better than we have been previously. We're making no effort to push out right now. Pushing out is bad. We want them to attack us, not the other way around. We are in very favorable terrain here, and we have good amounts of land force. This is a problem up here, but we're working on it. Okay, they do have some light tanks here. Yeah, supplies in this region are definitely a problem. We are winning that attack. Ooh, wow. This isn't great. That's not great at all. I was hoping we'd be able to deal with the attacks over on this side. I thought that this side was going to be the major problem. These guys don't have supplies, though, and these do. So that is an issue. Okay, what do we want to do about this? We could pull a single unit down here to try to reinforce this. Okay, it's dealt with. Cool. You can actually stop. There you go. Okay, so that was risky, for sure. That was dangerous. But they ended up not able to attack because of organization. They have big numbers down here, though, and their supplies are a problem. So, one thing I would like to do is I would like to get our carriers, these guys. I want to split off just those units. What is the best way to go about doing that? I'm bad at this naval system, for sure. Well, one thing we could do, actually, is we could grab this carrier, make it into a new fleet, and have it come out over here, like so. You're docked right now? I want you to, like, physically move out. Like, don't dock. Because I want to have them, like, parked off the coast over here. Oh, we can do that now. Cool. So we'll assign the air wings over here. These guys are assigned now to southern India. Okay. So let's see here. Air wing with no mission assigned. Right. Cannot perform missions when the carrier is docked in a port. Right. So I want them to just move out here. Okay. Now they're actually moving. Good. So, I want to go into the strategic air map mode. I want to have our fighters be in air superiority up here. Just try to defend... Well, I'd like them to defend our bombers, but I don't think that's really an option. And what I really want to do here is strategic bombing. But we don't have the option to do that with naval bombers, unfortunately. Carrier naval bombers there. So we might want to consider switching from carrier naval bombers over to carrier tactical. Well, there aren't any carrier tactical bombers. Okay. That's a little bit sad. I was hoping that what we'd be able to do, like, I would understand if naval bombers would have, like, a malice to doing, like, strategic bombing here. I'd really like it if they could just do it, but suffering a penalty to it, right? That would be nice. Sadly, they don't seem to be able to. The plan was to strike supply lines in this area. Okay. Apparently that's not going to work. So if that's the case, then what's the next plan? Well, that is certainly something that we will have to think about. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. For the time being, we are holding. They're not currently attacking us, but we should definitely consider it's going to be rough. They're going to attack us, and we may end up having to retreat in the next episode, but we'll find out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Kazaral, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Ken2In, Jens Graham, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.